Now, I know this review was pretty late, but I finally got around to watching episode 2 of Bubuki Buranki, and I gotta say, I am definitely interested in this anime. I do want to see where it goes because these characters, they're all pretty unique and different, and we even see now that like something's even going on with our main villain, Reoko, and that right there I will definitely get at, later on in the review. But we see now that the episode itself, it starts off where we have Azuma. Obviously he has found the remains of Oubu, and we see now that like it's nothing but bones left. But then we have our other characters, Kogani and the others. They are still dealing with that man, and we see now that even though this guy is definitely outnumbered, he is like so easily able to like counter all our characters because we have him going toe to toe with our swordswoman. We see him now easily, getting rid of the stun bullets with like one shot, and we even see now that like Hiragi, he also was like he also was able to like outmatch and outskill Hiragi. But we see now that like Hiragi was mainly making an opening for Kogane because we see her now getting one good punch, and we see her send this guy flying. And so right now, all of them, have finally caught up to Azuma, and we see them now, like looking at the remains of Oubu. And so right now, all of them are like wondering, what's going on, why is it like that? But then we see now that like Hiragi, he actually wants Azuma to hand over his heart. And then we have Azuma thinking that like this guy was like talking about his real heart, but no, we see now that that Hiragi actually wanted the Bubuki heart, for Oubu, because that right there would allow them to wake him up. And so we see now that the man who was after all these kids, he definitely wasn't like down for the count. We see him now coming back, and this time this guy came back with a vengeance, because we see now that like not only was he easily able to overpower our characters here, but we even have him getting ready to kill a Bubuki right in front of everybody, because we have Kogani Bubuki. She was like it was protecting Azuma, and we see now that Azuma definitely wasn't gonna let this thing die in front of him. And so right now he had pounced at the man, and we see him now trying to like get the gun away from him, but instead we see him we get Azuma, making this man shooting him. And so at first I thought, maybe something bad was like going to happen. And then we see, Azuma get his own, Bubuki. But no, we see now they was like somehow manifesting, like from the inside of his body. And so right now we see the heart, take like a very small, like cube appearance. And so we see now that one thing had awakened. It has somehow, got the power to pretty much resonate with all the other Bubukis, around it. And that right there, made them all transform into the limb that like belonged to Oubu. But at the same time, I don't believe that, those right there are like the real limbs, because this thing, when like Oubu came back, this thing looked, a lot different compared to how we saw it, in episode 1. But at least now they were no longer, on the ground, but instead they were like on the surface. Oh, and also we saw now that Azuma's old home. It seemed now that his mother is like definitely dead, because we see that that it definitely look uninhabited. And we even have, a Buranki, like now being so close to the edge of it. But we see now that, while they were all going around, we have like the father soldiers who are shooting at them. And obviously, like there was no way, they can actually hurt these kids now. But we see that when the Buranki, did like one jump, he pretty much made a shockwave that like took them all out. And so now we see that like Reoko, she had now came, because that right there is what Hiragi went all this time, is to like get get revenge on her, and we see now that like that her Buranki is definitely, you know, a lot different compared to the ones that we like seen so far, because, you know, this one was like actually flying, and we learn now that 24 years ago, it actually lost, you know, it actually lost its like arms and legs, which definitely explains, you know, why it was flying. So Hiragi thought maybe, you know, this thing might be weak, and in that way they could possibly, you know, take, you know, Reoko out, because we learn now that, you know, Reoko, you know, obviously she is our villain, but Hiragi mainly wants to get revenge on her for his father, because she has took away his pride as a Bubuki user, and so obviously he actually wants to be her, you know, for his dad, so, you know, that way he can like get his pride back. But I do wonder, you know, if Hiragi's father is like alive or dead, because right now I'm thinking that like most of these kids are like definitely orphans, which is why they can like go around doing all this stuff. But we see that, you know, that even though Reoko's, you know, Buranki should have been weakened, it was actually pretty dang powerful, and we see it now, you know, use fire, you know, to like such an intense to such an intense extent that we see her now, you know, not only make this rather large hole in the city, but we see her bring down like multiple buildings. They were all melted, you know, due to the heat. And so right now Reoko, you know, easily, you know, defeats Oubu, and we see her now, you know, burn it, you know, from like the inside out. And so that way we see now that, you know, once again it was like back to being nothing but bones. And so now, you know, now we see that, and the kids drop in this hole. And so then after that, we have the Bubuki, who we saw hanging off the island. It was now falling down to earth. And so we see now that while, you know, all the kids were like talking, you know, and like kind of arguing, because Hiragi, he was definitely, you know, pretty like dickish in the episode. And so right now it was definitely nice to see one of our characters not really put up with it and actually wanted to fight him, because Hiragi, he was like showing, he was showing no respect to anyone, not even his own Bubuki, even though that right there is his partner. And so right now, where we have him and the sword girl about to fight, we have Reoko coming down once again. And so now, you know, right now she was telling Azuma that like, you know, a Buranki just fell, and that must mean that like your mother is dead. And so you know, Azuma at first he was like really quiet, but we learned now he was not buying that, because he said that, you know, if his mother was really dead, then, you know, like a lot more than one would just fall. And so right now he was still keeping hope alive, and we see now that that because, you know, and we see now that because the main cast never called his mother a witch, that right there made him happy. And so right now he was like asking for the help, and we see them now, you know, pretty much agreeing willingly. And then we have Hiragi, who at first was like gonna like turn him down, and we see that the sword girl, you know, did not give him a chance. And so right now he had no choice but to allow, you know, Azuma to like use all their Bubukis. And so we see now, you know, this time he had used the power of the heart, you know, a lot more willingly, and because the first time he used it seemed like a forced awakening of it, but this time with like all of them with all of them agreeing to it, you know, they definitely have a lot like a better shot. And we see now, you know, once again where they were like fighting Entei, and we have, you know, Entei having the upper hand. You know, it's because they were like not fighting as one, because they were all trying to move on their own, and that right there was like not bringing up any power when they came to like countering Entei. And so we see now that, you know, that Now, Hiragi said that Entei lost his arms 24 years ago, but then we see that in the episode when was fighting, you know, like we see that like it had claws. So to me, I'm thinking, you know, like are those claws, not his hands, or did, someone miss up something? Because that right there, they're like, someone confused me. But we see now that when they all became one, they were like able to overpower Ante, but obviously they could not beat her. And so right now, they had no choice but to retreat. But it was definitely not to see them, getting, at least one good hit. And so right now, when they all made their escape, we have, Reoko getting ready to like go get rid of that Buranki that fell. And then she's like going to chase after those kids, but we see her collapse out of nowhere, and that right there is where the episode ended, because we have our characters now making their escape. But I do wonder, where is the skeleton, of Oubu, because we see now that in the opening, like we saw them traveling with it, and so at first I thought maybe, that right there is what they had to do. But is it possible that, they can actually store that skeleton in the heart, that Ultima had? Because not only would that, be convenient, but of course it would make a lot more sense than for them to be forced, to carry it around, the entire series. So hopefully, we can get like some kind of a explanation soon. But we see now that at the end, we learn about Reiko, and in reality, this girl is 40. But we learn now that like she had been stuck in the body of her 16-year-old self for the past 24 years, and so time had like frozen for her, and we have no idea why. But I have a very strong feeling that that right there has to deal with Ultima's mother, which is why she like changed history to make her seem like a witch. But overall, for a second episode, to me, like I said, I did enjoy it. I am definitely now more invested, into this series. But at the same time, I do wish that the animation, I do wish that it was a little bit better, because sometimes it seems, like pretty decent, and other times I do wish that it was, a little better. And also for the opening and ending, sadly, I gotta say that I did not care for like either one of them. Now, I'm not saying they're bad, but at the same time, I check and I get into like either one while I was like watching it for the first time. But of course, let me know what you guys thought. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And as always, you guys take it easy. I will see you all next time.